Aloha. Look, we got somebody from Hawaii. All right.
Hopefully, that would be awesome. I love
It'd be
Hawaii.
kind of weird if it was from Georgia, right?
Aloha.
Aloha. Aloha. From Georgia, you know?
How do you do a southern accent with aloha?
It takes talent.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha. Aloha.
I'm from Georgia, so I can do that. All right.
Hi everyone, Bethany Wilson here, and this is I remembered my glasses husband, Chris Davison.
Let's see if my reading's any better today.
Yeah, so he'll be able to read today.
Maybe.
This is a Doggercise Dog Training presents the new Rough Start Rehab, which is dog training and rescue. So we're doing a brand changeover. And I think we should dive right in. We got some really good feedback from our first Q&A. So I'm super excited with some new questions that I got. So let's get started.
All right.
Go.
Are we saying names this time? We're not saying
Yes,
names?
you can say names.
Okay.
They know.
This is from Tracy. I just adopted a dog from Yorkshire Terrier Rescue. They recommended you, but I don't live in the area, so I'm hoping to get some advice. We have owned problem dogs, but this one is really struggling. He is biting anyone that comes near him and growling over toys, food, and even his space on the couch. He loves a cuddle, but then will lash out if my husband walks by. We are older and very patient, we just don't know where to start. I will say that if I want to pick him up and hold him, sometimes he will growl. He sleeps in his bed on the floor perfectly, but if we get up to use the bathroom in the night, he growls and sometimes snaps at us. He is so cute, everyone wants to say hi to him, but they can't. He walks well until he sees someone and then he shies away or goes after him. I never know which it'll be. We have a family get together in just a month and I guess he will have to stay in the room all day. Tracy.
Okay. Okay, Tracy. Yeah, Yorkshire Terrier Rescue. Yeah, smaller dogs can be really tough because it can be tougher to correct them, especially if it's like a true Yorkie or if it's a really small Yorkie. So there's a few things that I want you to do. I actually know about the dog. I actually heard about the dog from the lady that you got it from before you guys rescued it, and she told me about you guys and how dedicated you are. So I really loved hearing from you. But I have met this dog, and the issues and the distrust runs really deep. So there's a couple of things that I want you to do. First of all, this is the hardest, is I want 30 days of commitment from you of no affection. I mean 0. No petting, no nothing. If you go through my videos and you watch a place command for dogs with behavioral issues, which is different than place commands with treats, just mark everything good he does with good. Or you can say yes, and that is it. That is all he gets. So here's the reason why, before I have people going, oh my God, what is she talking about? No petting? Yeah, because you have a dog that doesn't want to be touched, and he only wants to be touched on his terms. I mean, that's ridiculous. What?
You all Hollywooded it up. You're
Stop.
Whatever. Oh my goodness.
So I'm very expressive, all right? I can't see the dog, so I'm gonna act it out. So I know that's what he's doing. So that's what I want you to do, because it's going to do one of two things. One, you're not going to accidentally reinforce bad behavior, because you get what you pet. So if you pet nervousness, if you pet dominating energy, then that's what you're going to get. So you never pet a dog, you pet a state of mind. So if you want calm dog, that's what you pet. But I want no petting for a month, because not only do I not want you to accidentally reinforce bad behavior, but I want to create, just like we create drive with food to food train dogs, I want you to create drive for affection. I want that dog just like, please, 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 I'll do anything if you'll pet me. So I want to create drive to be pet. And if you do that, I promise you, a full committed month, you will start to see that dog seek out affection from even newer people, and he won't be as aggressive to begin with. Because right now, I'm sure at his foster family, and I'm sure with you guys, you're giving him all the affection he needs, more than what he wants, clearly. So he has no need to get it from strangers. So back off, that he has that mentality. So pull the affection. Now that's just to help with his state of mind. So there's something else I want you to do. If you want to be ready in a month, I think, is that what it said? A month to work with having that get together.
Yeah.
I don't mind if you work with him on a slip leash in the house. That's perfectly fine. But you with his type of mentality, you're going to be working with that dog for months. I would say 6 to 8 months before you see a significant improvement. Go on Amazon. I think they have them on Amazon. Look for a Herm Springer. It has to be that brand. It has to be a Herm Springer micro prong, or it might be called a micro mini prong.
Why does it have to be that brand?
It has to be Herm Springer because the other versions that you get at like Petco and stuff, I don't even think they carry the micros, but they're rough around the edges and they can chafe the dog's neck. Now here's the thing, if you've ever seen a prong collar, they look really scary. So to just kind of show you, I can't go into it really lengthy right now. So what I want you to do is I want you to go to Google, go to YouTube, type in Tyler Muto prong collar 1 and then Tyler Muto prong collar 2 and Tyler Tyler Muto Muto, and he is going to walk you through really not corrections or anything, just training where you can be really gentle. And Yorkies are prone for that trachea issue, the collapsed trachea. So prong collars are great on those breeds because there's no pressure on the windpipe. So just trust me, just at least check it out if you've never done that type of training before. I know they look scary, but they are really great training tools when used properly, and you can whip that dog into shape in no time. And then the other thing that I want you to do, if you're super committed to this, is definitely go on, after you watch those 2 Tyler Muto videos on just the basics, on how to teach the basics on a prong, I want you to go to my leash aggression section on YouTube, and it's leash aggression and fear issues, and there's dogs with reactivity issues, and it shows how to do turnarounds. And that's what I want you doing constantly with him if he does lash out at someone or if he gets nervous, because it just calms the dog down. And then you can go one step further and not even feed that dog except on your walks. If he doesn't eat his kibble on his walks when he sees people, then he doesn't eat. And I don't mean if he's going crazy. I mean once you get him settled, then you feed him. So what happens is you do all these things over time. You're helping him seek out need for affection. You're creating an inhibition, because you will eventually get into corrections for behaving like a jerk, and you're associating food with people. So then at your party, you can have him go to his bed, go to his place command, and I wouldn't feed him all day until that night or whenever the get together is. Or not feed him the night before, so he's really hungry, and you just feed him kibble just regularly throughout the several hours everyone's there, and you can teach him how to be tethered. I go through that on my duration place videos. So again, all that's on my YouTube channel. So I know it's a lot of work, but honestly, if I think about it, it's probably only about an hour's worth of YouTube videos that I want you to go through, and then you can go above and beyond and do more if you like. And I mean, an hour of training videos and $25 for a collar and leash and some free advice, and that's going to get you really far. Also, make sure you're crating him at night, so you just prevent that bad behavior. Put his bed in a crate, and no more couch privileges for a month. No affection, no couch, no nothing. I promise you, you're going to see such a huge change. You're not even going to want to go back to the way it was, but you can gradually start to add in affection and stuff like that after that. But start there. I don't want to overwhelm you. Just start there, 1 month, really committed. And then if you have any questions, you can definitely feel free to continue to ask me. Whew.
That was pretty long-winded.
All right, next.
All right, next
Please
question.
be an easy one. I don't remember which one's next. Oh, just say first names. Don't bother. Just say first names. Just in case.
Just in case.
Just in case.
All right, this is from Peter. Peter. My dog Buddy is 2 years old, a 75-pound lab Mastiff mix. Mastiff.
Mastis?
Mix. A Mastis.
The new breed.
New breed. He's normally very calm and collected. I've had him for 3 months, and he is good on a leash with dogs and strangers. What I have observed recently at the dog park is that he will find a big, high-energy dog, usually running at the dog park, and will begin to follow in hot pursuit. Once he catches up to the dog, he will bump them at full speed, mouth at their neck at full speed, tackle them to the ground, and begin to wrestle with them in a tough manner. And the worst part is that when he wrestles, he makes a low, throaty, guttural noise that sounds very aggressive.
Yeah.
He's never hurt a dog with this style of play because to him it is just play. He has never bit or injured another dog.
Yeah.
From what I have observed and read on the topic, Buddy just wants to find a high-energy dog to wrestle with, and sometimes this is reciprocated by another dog at the park. However, the noise that he makes sounds...
Nice dramatic
right?
moment there. That was good.
I had to pause for that effect.
That was good.
That he makes sounds, his sounds so scary. Concerned the most right now is how this behavior has only recently developed. Also, what is so disturbing to me is how calm, collected, and gracious Buddy is 90% of the time. He plays well with my brother's small 20-pound terrier, and has other dog friends that he plays with nearly on a daily basis. And at home, he is a couch potato. I have read that this type of aggression might be due to the lack of exercise and lack of prior socialization. I don't think that this is due to the lack of exercise. As of now, my plan is to keep him away from the dog parks and other similar situations until I can improve his
recall.
His recall to a point. It said is recall. Come on. Where he won't proceed with his rough play when I see it start. Is there anything else that I can do to help him? Please give me whatever advice you can. Thank you, Peter.
Okay, so I know that was still really long, but I cut it in half, and I don't know, there was so much good stuff in there. I'll do better next time.
Okay.
I will get better at cutting questions for
She
y'all.
she changed your lines to where it said...
Stop.
Yeah, it said
okay,
is instead of is, and then she's making fun of me. So.
Anyway, I will get better at cutting questions, I promise. But there was so much good stuff in there that everyone needed to hear. Probably not. Okay, so here's the thing. I just put out one of my rants with love about dog parks. And it's really funny that I got this email, and I had just videotaped that day. It went online on Wednesday, I think, of last week. So check that out. It's also on YouTube under Rants with Love about dog parks and doggy daycares. Okay, so here's the thing. I think he's only had this dog for a few months. If I misinterpreted that, I apologize. But if you've only had
him for 3 months.
Yeah, but I just mean if for some reason maybe he meant that the problems were the last 3 months. I mean, 3 months is nothing. I mean, you say that this is something that's recently developed. Well, everything is recently developed. So, no, I don't mean this to pick on you and be really harsh with you or anything. This is not my intent. However, why would you ever take a dog... And this is a you. Why would a general you, ever take a dog to a dog park where you didn't have already an amazing recall and you already had your foundation training and your obedience training and all of that underway? You start with the structure, and then through structure, they get more and more freedoms, all right? So you're kind of working backwards, which, I mean, lots of people do. If they didn't, I'd be out of a job, so it's totally okay. but you're working backwards. You gave him all this freedom while you were doing some obedience training. And because he's generally a good dog, which we're dealing with our border collie, we let him get away with little stuff all the time because he's just generally such a well-balanced, great dog anyway. Well, what happens is, when you do give into little things all the time, it makes your structure just go out the window, and they're less likely to listen to you. Recall is the hardest thing. It is the hardest thing to train a dog consistently to do without training tools, like an off-leash training tool, like an e-collar, which you can absolutely do. But I'm not going to go into that in this segment because I feel like there's other stuff that you need to hear. So your whole, you're right. He doesn't, the thing that you looked up about the socialization and the exercise, you're right. He doesn't need more exercise. You're doing fine. He probably doesn't need more socialization. If he needed more socialization, he wouldn't be so great with dogs and people on leash and a couch potato at home and great with the 20-pound terrier at home. Socialization is not the issue. What the issue is hundreds and hundreds of years of just dog brain, of dog training, dog breeding, and that instinctual prey / play drive. There is such a fine line. Some of the sweetest dogs in the world get caught up in that chase down, and then by the time they've reached what they're chasing, their mind is nothing but noise. You could scream and shout, and the best trained dog may not come back to you without some sort of training tool.
Especially a lab mix.
Well, what was it?
It's a lab Mastiff mix, but you got, the
so
lab
you've got
is
the lab, which is happy-go-lucky, fearless, and then the Mastiff, which is, stubborn, but yet couch potato. And that's where some of the intensity comes into play too. So yeah, just don't get so caught up in this. This, to me, this is not a big deal. For me, maybe you're going to think you're talking to the wrong person, but stop going to the dog park. Bottom line, it's bad for your dog. It's bad for your dog's mentality, thinking he can chase down other dogs. Find play dates. This is what I tell people to go to the dog park for, is have your dog on leash, work with your dog in the dog park, find dogs that he clicks with and get their number, and find out which one of you has a yard and set up play dates. Your dog does not have to be your dog does not have to have a social life at the dog park to have a happy life. It sounds to me like his life is fantastic even without the dog park every day. So just keep those things in mind. I'm not trying to be negative, but you can have an incredible recall, 6 months, and build him up on his environment and have an amazing recall. But if you don't use like specific training tools to get it accomplished, I can pretty much guarantee you that dog's chase down drive is going to trump any food or leash redirection you've been working on for months and months and months. It's not the priority level. It's not going to be there. Like with our border collie, we're working on him chasing squirrels. It's like an epidemic for squirrels everywhere all the time. And it's just something bred into them. And so it's the same with your dog. When he gets into that chase mode, nothing's going to stop him. And what if other dogs start to join in with your dog? And your dog may not bite, but other dogs might. And then all of a sudden your dog has started a fight even though he's not the one biting. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration here. So I'm not trying to be negative, I'm not. But just in case you needed to hear someone say, don't go to the dog park, that's what I'm telling you.
There's a lot of bad things to go down at the dog park.
A lot of bad things.
Yeah.
I don't know where you live. We're in LA. A lot of bad things go down at dog parks here.
Not everybody,
not
but
everybody.
a lot of people do go there and
it's bad.
It's bad, and they just let their dogs do whatever, and they're off in the corner on their phones, not paying attention.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Listen to my rant. It's good.
Bad.
It talks about that, but it's just, your dog has that type of instinct in him, and you could try putting him on a long line at the park. That like a 60-foot long line, and he drags that around, but man, that would be a real hassle. There's a lot of angles you could go about doing this, but I'm just not going to go into it. I'm just going to tell you, don't go. Get people's numbers of the few dogs that he does click with, and don't go. Your dog is great. This is not a socialization issue. This is simply a dog getting overexcited and then getting dominant and not being able to control himself. And you've only had him for 3 months. And again, not to be all doomsday, but I give that dog a few more months, before another dog really steps up to him, and then you have a dog fight. And then your dog has a mental issue with other dogs because he caused another dog to lash out at him. Even if your dog didn't do anything, he's going to trigger something sooner or later. There is going to be some German Shepherd, some dog that's not going to put up with that. And he might fight back, or he might be scared to death. And then all of a sudden, now you've got an anxious, nervous lab Mastiff mix. So All right, those are my 2 cents, and I hope that just gave you some insight, and you're more than welcome to kind of do like a rebuttal and just let me know your thoughts. I'd be really happy with that. All right,
next question. Aloha. Aloha. Look, we got somebody from Hawaii. All right.
Hopefully that would be awesome. I love
It'd be kind of weird if it was from Georgia, right?
Aloha.
Aloha. Aloha. From Georgia, you know?
How do you do a southern accent with aloha?
It takes talent.
Aloha.
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 I'm from Georgia, so I can do that. All right. I watched a few of your videos, and I think they're awesome. A little pat on your back there. Look at that. All right. I would have just patted my own back. That's kind of nice.
You didn't do anything. Read.
I have a 10-week-old pug, and I have no idea how to say this name.
I'm going to go with Kahoku.
Kahoku. All right. Kahoku.
You got to let me know if I'm right.
That sounds good.
It's so cute.
I have a 10-week-old pug, Kahoku, who I'm currently trying to train. He seems to know to go to his puppy pad, but somehow looks to go to either his crate or playpen. He even tries to go inside to go potty, so I've closed access to both places.
Good.
If I even leave him in there for a small period of time, he messes. It seems I have a lot to learn about training. Attached are images of both of the playpen and the crate. I have attached a pic of little Hoku.
He's so cute.
I'm going to attempt the go to your place training with him because he seems to be in between feet too much that I'm afraid to walk.
It's typical puppy stuff.
I would appreciate any advice you have and look forward to your response, Veronica.
Veronica. Okay, Veronica. I saw his photo. He's so adorable. All right, so it's really funny that I got this because a couple of years ago we worked with an adorable Shih Tzu puppy who's in some of my videos. The Calm Crate Training video, that's her. And this is the exact same problem they were having, and they had that same pin that you sent me. So everyone, if you've ever seen those, they're completely enclosed and they're cloth, so you can fold them up easily. And they have a bottom and a top, so it's like a big crate. But that's the problem. They had the same issue with the dog pottying in the playpen, and that's the problem. It's like a big crate. The whole point of crate training is that you have a very small crate where the dog can just stand up, turn around, stretch, and that's it. So like if you get the big wire crates, they need a divider in them. And I think you sent me the plastic crates, and he'll eventually grow into it. I'm sure it's a little big for him now, but he'll eventually grow into it. So this is what I would suggest. As far as the crate issue, make sure you're taking him out every couple of hours when you are home because he's so young, and then you build on that. Like every week, bump it up a half an hour. If you're not home for more than 4 hours, divide his crate. Put like a little puppy pad in the front half and then an old towel in the back half. So if he does potty, it's not that big of a deal. And get rid of the playpen. The only way you can keep the playpen is if you line it with puppy pads. That way he'll stop at least getting in the habit of going on that nylon bottom. Because here's the thing, is it's like a big crate, so they have room to move around. So their stomach and all the interworkings happen. Bowels.
Bowel movements.
Okay, stop. I don't want to say bowel movements.
Little puppy farts.
Little puppy farts. So
it's funny when they sneeze and fart at the same time.
Stop. I know pugs do that. Pugs and French bulldogs. Okay, so anyway, you just want to stop that. So you either got to stop using it or you just line it with puppy pads. I know you say you've got a lot to learn about training, and maybe you do, but potty training it's about structure, repetition, taking them out, setting them up for success, and not getting too stressed out about it. If the puppy's 16 weeks old and still having issues, then you want to start getting a little more stressed out about it, and you can let me know again. Definitely work on the place training. That'll help you with the feet issue. Something I would like you to do, I know he's not having any biting or growling issues, but there's I have a really great puppy video with a young French bulldog, and I think it's puppy biting, growling, something, and I want you to go to that because it talks about blocking, like body blocking with feet, and then also using food to redirect with a command like sit, and that'll help you too. So when he gets underfoot, you can just step into his space, and it'll teach him how to get out of your space, so he's also not always on top of you that way as well. So those are two things that you should definitely look into. All right, next.
Next. This is from...
That was an easy one.
That was an easy one. This is from Anna.
Anna. Hi, Anna.
That's not last, is it?
Yep.
Oh, look at that. That is the last one. Look at that.
Because I knew some of these would be long.
Long. Anna says, I buckle my dog in the front passenger seat, and he does know the driving route from my apartment to my mom's house. Little smarty pants. She wrote that, and I didn't just say that. So if he notices I turn down a different street, an alternate route to her house, his ears perk up and he starts looking around nervously and can whine. If I stop at the market before going to her house, he starts getting very twitchy until he realizes I'm leaving him in the car. And if, for example, I did this past Monday, I went to the mechanic to drop off my car for the service and got him out of the car for us both wait on the sidewalk for my mom to pick me up, and he shook and quivered anxiously the entire time we waited about 10 minutes.
Poor guy.
It's not really...
Is that it?
Is that it? There's no question.
That's it.
It's just a statement.
It's just a statement.
This is what happened. This is what I'm saying.
Help me. Okay, I gotcha. All right. So, couple things that you're going to want to do. This is really typical, especially, if, I'm assuming the way that you talked about going back to your mom, so he's around family a lot, but he's with just you a lot. So I'm sure there's a lot of closeness there. And you sent me a photo, so cute, so adorable. I love getting photos from you guys of your dogs. So what I would suggest is, I'm guessing if he's buckled in, that he can probably still jump up to look out the window if he wanted. You have to stop that. So there's two ways you can stop it. One is just like when he jumps up on the window, just do a no, and just do like a little poke.
Ow.
Not enough to hurt the dog. But just for him to sit back down, okay? That's it. Don't grab or pull down or anything like that, because it just sends the wrong message. It's actually more emotional if you pull the dog off, or even if you grab the collar and pull him down or pick him up. All of that is too involved. I just want a clean and clear hey and have him hop down. And if you don't want to do that, or it's not working, he might be so intense that that doesn't work properly. Just put loop a leash around his neck. It can be a slip leash, or it could just be a leash to his collar. And so he's buckled in and he's got that. And then just do a correction, like down and towards the seat. So you're driving and he hops up. No, grab the leash, pop down into the ground. Okay. And he might jump back up. And if he does continually, then just keep at it, keep resetting him. Try to get him into a down. If he's too anxious for a down, then a sit or stand is okay. I just don't want him jumping up. All right, that energy is bad. We want to counteract that. So there's that aspect of it. But here's the thing. For 1 month, I keep saying the 1 month thing. For 1 month, I want you to take a different route every day. Every day that he's in your car, a different route. So if you don't have a lot of time, it can be something simple, just one turn, but it cannot be the same 2 days in a row. Different route every day for a month, and then gradually wean off of that. And I'd say the biggest thing is any whining or boo-hooing, just ignore it for now. I don't want you to accidentally reinforce it. You can try to say no, or hey, or settle, or something. You can try that, but he's probably just going to keep on whining. So you can try it once. If it doesn't work, just ignore him. Let him settle into it himself, and hopefully over the course of the month it'll desensitize him. If not, if it's more severe than that, let me know, and I got another protocol where we can incorporate a few other things to help him out. As far as him actually waiting in the car, it's really, really hard for dogs to, especially small dogs, because they jump up and look for you and look for you and look for you, and that person's not you and that person's not you, and they get more and more anxious, more and more riled up. And then you have something like dropping your car off at the mechanic, and they have a complete meltdown because they've stress loaded from all the other times they've been alone. So I want you to get a travel crate, and I want you to crate train him in the travel crate, and anytime you're going to leave him, you put him in the travel crate. And of course, this is only if the weather outside, is permitting. You can't do it if it's too hot. But start small. Devote 2 weeks to several times a day after he's trained in the travel crate. Put him in the travel crate, put him in the back seat, shut the car door, be out of sight, surf on Facebook for a couple of minutes, back in the car. Do that several times a day and change your increments up. 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, 10 minutes, 4 minutes. Don't gradually build on increments, because then they learn that every time they're left in the car, it's for longer and longer and longer. Change it up, and then eventually it really won't be a big deal to him anymore. It really won't. But the thing is, you've got to put in the training. Something else that you could do is kind of the same thing I mentioned before with the dog, with the Yorkie, with the issue with people, major issue with people. If you really want to get serious, don't feed him except in the car and in the travel crate. Like literally give him the food in the travel crate, shut the travel crate, shut the door, stand outside the car for a couple minutes. If he doesn't eat his food, he doesn't eat. Try again later in the evening, doesn't eat his food, he doesn't eat. I can guarantee you within just a few days, he'll start gobbling up his food. Then within a few days more, he'll associate the travel crate and the car with food. So the important thing is, you can't just do the food, and you can't just drive around. You've got to squash the anxiety to some degree, so you can't have the jumping up. So you've got to kind of combine all of these things. It's like a little bit of dog psychology mixed with some body blocking, mixed with some positive reinforcement. You need all of these elements to create the balance that you're wanting. Okay, so try that, and hopefully I'll hear back from you in 2 to 4 weeks on how things are going, and we'll take it from there.
Awesome. Cool.
That's it, guys. That's it. I didn't want to make this one too long. I'm really trying to, cap it at 30, and the timestamps will be down below. We do already have some updates, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah. Gonna go ahead and
from last week. Yeah, cool. From question and answer number 1.
All right, updates.
From Carol. This is the dog that wouldn't potty in the backyard.
Oh, okay. Thanks again, Bethany. Free to pee in the backyard this morning after a little while of me walking her around there, and also around noon. So yay. Maybe we are getting the hang of it. Thanks again, Carol.
Yay. I'm so glad, Carol. I love her name, Frida.
All right, Bethany.
From Terry.
This is from Terry.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for answering my questions in your YouTube video. I'm happy to say that Penny, now 9 weeks old, is doing better. We have worked on crate, and I have used your calming techniques as well. We came home from church this morning. After being gone for 3 hours, she was quiet in her crate when we walked in through the door. Normally she barks like crazy. I was almost afraid something was wrong with her, but she was just fine.
I've had that moment before when I've trained dogs and all of a sudden it clicks and works, and I'm like, uh-oh.
She has gone every night except that one when she peed in her crate for 6 to 7 hours without any accidents, and is quieting down much sooner when initially put in her crate.
Good.
I'll be watching your question and answer videos each week, as I know I still have much to learn. Your dog's and the willingness to share that love and knowledge with the others like this is commendable. Thank you for being so helpful, dear.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me, because this is a lot of work for us to put together, but it's totally worth it, and it really means a lot to me. Even if it's just one person that watches this video and gets something out of it, it really means a lot to me. I love you guys, and thank you so much for watching and caring enough to even write to me and ask me. I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. It's something. It's something.
You're not wasting your time.
Yeah. Well, it's just it's the way the world works now, and to actually be trusted enough to even ask a question. Even if you just take it or leave it, it really means a lot to me, guys.
Cool.
All right, so I'm gonna say goodbye, everyone.
Adios.
Until next week.
Until next week.
Sorry, I scratched you. So this is Bethany Wilson from Rough Start Rehab Dog Training and Rescue. We're getting our new website vamped up right now, and a logo and everything, and I'm so excited to do this brand changeover. And yeah, I can't wait for everyone to join me for our changeover. And I'll let everybody know details of that as it goes, because if anybody's ever done any marketing, it's a pain in the behind.
In the behind.
In the hiney.
Not a bad word.
It's not a bad word, but it's a weird word coming out of your mouth. All right, everyone. Have a good week. Bye.
Bye.